You're putting in real effort, but it's not turning into the life you actually want. Is when you start doing things differently, even just a little, how things begin to shift, but not in the ways that you expect. And it feels like a decision, but it's not. Your time keeps getting used up without ever building anything for you. You don't need another explanation for why things feel off. You need to decide what you're going to do about it. Because at this point, you can feel that something isn't working the way it should. You're putting in real effort, you're handling real responsibility, but it's not turning into the life you actually want. So the question isn't why this is happening anymore. It's now what happens if you keep living this way. And if you haven't watched the last video, go watch that first, because that's where I break down the pattern that this all stems from. And what we're talking about today can catch you off guard if you're not prepared for it. The moment that catches most people off guard is when you start doing things differently, even just a little, how things begin to shift, but not in the ways that you expect. It's not just your schedule changing, it's how everything around you responds to that change. And most people don't understand this. When you stop doing what you normally do, your mind doesn't always translate that to positive change. It can read it as risk, because over time, you've been conditioned to associate being responsive, being available, being the one who handles everything with stability. So when you don't do it, your nervous system doesn't necessarily feel like you're making better decisions. It feels like you're letting something that kept you safe slip between the cracks. And that's why the intrusive thoughts come in so fast. Something's off. This doesn't feel right. Am I being selfish? And this happens not because it's true, but because what you've previously done is most familiar. So let's slow this down for a second, because what's happening in that moment is very specific. And the reason that it is so hard to change this pattern is because it feels like something that you were choosing with positive intent. It feels like you're just deciding to help. It feels like I chose to step in. But really, if you look closely, in that moment, it didn't actually feel optional. It feels like something you need to handle, like it's your responsibility, like you leaving it alone would actually make things worse. So you don't really consider not doing it, you just get into action. And that whole process I just described, it happens in seconds. And it feels like a decision, but it's not. It's a pattern that you've run so many times that it feels automatic. And that's why this pattern is so hard to see, because it doesn't look like something is wrong. You're getting things done, you're handling what's right in front of you. People can depend on you. So from the outside, everything looks like it's working. But what's actually happening is your time keeps getting used up without ever building anything for you. And that adds up. Days where you were busy but didn't move any of your goals forward. Weeks where you handled everything but didn't get any closer to what you actually want. And over time, it turns into years. Years of keeping things afloat but not actually getting to where you're trying to go. And that's why it feels like you can never catch up. Not because you're behind, but because your effort keeps getting pulled into things that don't actually move your life forward. And this is the part that most people never actually get to. They don't see what's happening while they're still inside the cycle. Because when you're inside the pattern, it just feels like your life. It feels normal. It feels necessary. It feels like what you're supposed to be doing. So you keep moving without realizing what it's costing you. And that's the problem. You can't change what you can't see clearly. And that's exactly why I created what I call the orientation map for Black women. I didn't create it to motivate you. I didn't create it to tell you what to do. I created it to show you clearly where your time and energy are going right now, what's actually draining you, and what's keeping you in that cycle. Because once you see it, you stop operating within it blindly. So if you're a Black woman who feels like you're tired of doing everything and your life still isn't moving forward, subscribe to the channel, because everything I create here is designed to help you see that clearly and to start doing something about it. And in the next video, I'm going to show you why everything in your life starts to feel urgent and how that pressure keeps your time, energy, and focus pulled into things that keeps everything else running while your life gets pushed to the side. And if this is landing for you, I want you to stay close to the channel, because I'm building something that's designed to help you work through this in real time. This isn't about doing more. It's about finally seeing what your effort has been going toward and deciding where it goes next.